what is a natural one not, what link should I disavow, will it hurt my site, and so on. And to start with, I'm going to tell you that, of course, cognitive SEO will help you a lot in these directions because we have a section dedicated for this, the unnatural link detection. But you have to keep in mind that context is king. If we tend to say a lot that content is king, which is totally true, on this particular case, we can say that context is king. I mean, the intent of the link, in which context is the link placed. We're going to go through a sort of a website with some unnatural links, and we're going to figure them out. I'm going to show you this because I don't think that a link is unnatural per se. A link is unnatural depending of its intent and or context, as I said before. As we see here, we can easily say that cats are liquids just because liquids take the shape of the container while maintaining a constant volume. So we can say cats are liquid just by looking at this picture, which we know is funny, but is not true. Same thing with links. We have this list here, and some links may be according to some of these things, but things are not quite like that. So I've run within the SEO campaigns tool, I've run the analysis of this website, the Futures of Palm Beach. And this is the site we're going to talk about. Okay, it's a website for addiction treatment, which main target marketplaces in US. Okay. Also, as we look at this SEO visibility that you have here on the dashboard of the Cognitive SEO dashboard, what we've seen is that has some ups and downs during the time. So if we look at the last years, the last 2 years, if we zoom it to the last 3 months, everything we do, we say that has a bit, is going down a bit. And of course, I have no affiliation with the site. I don't know, I just randomly discovered it and added to the analysis. So, of course, I do not know exactly what happened here, but let's try to figure things out just from a linking point of view. As you know, we also have this, the Site Explorer. So Site Explorer is another tool from Cognitive SEO that may help us out get an overall image of the situation before starting the natural link detection. Okay. All right now. So I'm gonna watch this info from the link velocity. As you can see, there have some weird spikes here. I mean, I'm not saying that it's not good to have 7,000 links in 1 month, but it could be something fishy given the fact that usually they have less links. So I'm just saying it could be fishy. I was saying before, I did not know exactly the website. I don't know what they did here or not, but this seems a bit fishy. As we go to the rankings, the SEO visibility, and we look back 2 years, and we also correlate them with the Google updates here from the Site Explorer, we can see that each time it was a Google update or something, they had some changes. See, even the Penguin 4.0 last year, this time, gave them a bit of a headaches. Same here. So it could be something related to links, could not. But let's figure this out. We simply go back to the SEO campaigns. This is the campaign we're analyzing, and we go to the inbound link analysis. So you guys are doing the same when in Cognitive SEO, you're adding your campaign, being a recurring one, being a one-time snapshot, and you try to figure out things, content-related, links-related, and so on. Today, we're going to look at links only. We can see a lot of data and info here. I'm not going to bore you with everything because I know your main interest is the natural link detection. I'm just saying that you should always take a look at some other data as well as this chart I was saying before. Okay, and I'm going to scroll down until here, the natural link detection. And what happens when I click on this button? Indeed, a video tutorial will gonna start. And after this magic button in the start automatic classification. Well, what does exactly mean? So basically, we have an algorithm that uses a lot of rules. Some of them are taken directly from Google guidelines. And we try to automatically classify all of the links that are in the system into OK links, suspect, and unnatural links. Okay? It's a very complex algorithm, a lot of engineering behind. We have a great team for that. But what it's important for you to know that we apply a lot of rules and we constantly update those algorithms in order to be as accurate as possible. Of course, each system has a false positive ratio, but we tend to say that our false positive ratio is as low as possible. When you probably did this, after you click the Start Automatic Classification now, we were sent here to the anchor text distribution and classifier. So here, what we're looking at are basically all of the anchor texts, okay, that this website has, features of Palmage. Okay, let's remember the name of the brand, features of Palmage. So as we're looking at all the anchor texts, we're asked by the tool to classify all of this into brand and commercial anchor text. So why is that? What's the thing with this? A brand anchor text is, as the name says, right, the name of the brand. In our case, for instance, features of Palmage. Okay. A commercial anchor text is an anchor text that I don't know, mostly known like the money keywords. You know, the keywords that you want to rank on most. You want to rank for your brand name as well, but you want to rank for commercial keywords as well. For instance, if I'm selling Nike shoes, I say Nike. Use Nike shoes for sports, for instance. This is a brand anchor text. If I'm saying something like use the best shoes in the world, you've never seen this before, better shoes than this would be a commercial anchor text. What Google usually wants to see, as many brand anchor texts as possible, as little commercial. And yes, it's true, in real life, things don't happen this way, but this is what Google wants. So we try to classify things, keeping this in mind. One more thing. Here, you may say that this classification is very hard to be done and so on. Actually, is not. Because if I know the name of my brand, for instance, like this, I can both classify this, right? Everything that has the name of the brand in it, I can simply classify it as brand. Okay? I can also have the option of showing only Michel Ney's anchor text. And if I consider that all of this, for instance, are commercial, I can classify them as that. I usually recommend to have a better look at them before classify them, because you are the one who knows your business the best. But you should always keep an eye on the classification, just to make sure it's right. Another thing that you can do for a better classification is to check this box here. Show anchor text for live links only. And why is that? You see, some of the anchor text disappeared. And why is that? The unnatural link detection is made on live links only. Why is that? Because live links are the one that matters, are the one that still exist, and are the one you should consider when doing a disavow. Lastly, links, as they do not exist anymore, you should not bother to say like that. You will see, for instance, anchor text like this, and you might ask, okay, what is this? This means no anchor or stuff like that. If you click on any of the of the anchor text, the link navigator will open. And you will easily see all the links associated with that anchor text. In my case, I choose to see only the one with no anchor text. And the one with no anchor text are like this, maybe, I don't know, images, or maybe is actually the link itself, okay? There are pages that couldn't be crawled, and all sort of these situations. But Once I click on show anchor test live, you can see that most of the links coming from the non-anchor are already lost. And then we try to do the classification. So I see that things with addiction, right? Things with addiction most likely are commercial anchor text for this brand. Let's see what other thing. Alcoholism, commercial, physical symptoms, detox. Okay, let's try some other. Detox and bulk classified. Saying when it's your own website, this process is way easier because you basically know your anchor text and you can bulk classify them. I'm just assuming, being a rehab center, that might have some of these words. Okay. Drugs, probably it's another anchor tag that might be here. Okay. Let's see. Some plus here. Okay. See, I have a lot of them classified, but not all of them. If you're bored at the middle of the classification, you'll see, and you want to finish with the process, we'll see this message. Okay, only 50% of the anchor texts are classified, but we recommend a minimum of 70%. I would recommend you to take another look and keep count of this recommendation. And why is this? Because this will help the natural link detection to be even more accurate than it is. Okay, so try to do the classification as accurately as possible in order to have great results when it comes to a natural link detection. The question, does the natural link detection take into consideration only these keywords? The answer is no. The natural link detection takes into consideration the keywords, the way you've classified them, but also another 50 rules when it classifies the links. So this is not all it takes into consideration. This is why I didn't want to do the classification before having this stuff, and I want you to see exactly how this works. I'm not doing any tricks, any magics. I'm using the system most likely just the way you're using it, you're doing it. Let's see what else, what important keywords we still have to classify. Of course, there are probably some keywords that you cannot classify. For instance, source, visit website, study, stuff like this. And yeah, most likely these are miscellaneous, and you can leave them like that. But the one that you can classify, you should. Let's see, something with consumption. I see here. Some wrong. With addict probably. Let's see. Okay. Drinking. You see, they're having a lot of anchor text, and most of them are very diverse from a lot of areas. Just by taking a look at this, just by taking a look at the anchor text, it's very, very easy to spot any unnatural activity just by looking at this. And why is this? Because, for instance, here I'm having a keyword like anorexia, okay, and this is very highly related to the business I'm analyzing. But if I'm having something like with, I don't know, totally unrelated, I don't know, buy house rental or payday loans or stuff like that, or cheap house rentals, something that is totally unrelated to my business, then I would know that I would have a problem. Okay, and when you're having this sort of anchor text, the easiest way is to go on the anchor text. Okay, let's assume that this would be the anchor text is very fishy and unrelated to my website. Click on it, and this will open. Basically, here on the right, you will have the exact links with the anchor text, and here on the left, you will have a preview of that page. Okay, and if you consider that has nothing to do with your business, you're gonna go to the next step. we're gonna see it together. Okay, let me just classify a bit more here. Some more anchor text. Of course, there are a lot of them. As saying before, some of them cannot be classified because they are miscellaneous, but some of them can actually be, and they should. Okay, drinks, depression. Let's just see. Okay. So let's see now how my classification looks for live anchor text only. So you can see most of them are already classified. It didn't took very long, although there are a lot of anchor text, because it's and consider that this is a website I'm not related to. So for your website, it should be even easier. I've led some of them with gray, being miscellaneous. Some of them should be red, some of them should be blue for a better recognition. Then again, I know you associate automatically red with bad, but if you're having commercial keywords, it's not a bad thing, it's a normal thing. All the websites have commercial keywords. What is important to keep in mind is the ratio between brand and commercial keywords. This is what is very, very important. Okay, this is what you should always keep in mind. Before going to the actual classification, if you're having any questions here regarding the anchor text classifier, please let me know. Okay. Are commercial links regarded as bad? As saying before, there are not necessary all the links from the commercial anchor text regarded as bad, as unnatural. No. It's normal to have commercial anchor text. I mean, this is what we basically do. We have businesses online and we try to sell things. The important is the ratio, and very important is the context as well. We're going to talk about it later. Someone told me that he can hear me like in an aquarium. Can you guys hear me all right, everybody? Or it was just for me to know if I need to fine-tune anything else, or the sound is all right. So yeah, it's okay. Thank you, guys. Okay. Someone, for instance, Jules asked us that if he has a page on his site about alcoholism, should it classify it as commercial, depending on your business? So if you could rephrase your question or give me more insights on your business, just to know how you should classify it. Okay, a lot of questions here on the anchor text classification. Okay, a lot of them regarding to Disavow. I'm going to address them later on. Now, let's go a bit further. We've done the classification, and we press this magic button here, run the natural link classifier. And once we do this, the system is basically taking into consideration all of the links, and he's trying to do the classification. And here we are now. We have this. Some unnatural links, some suspect, some okay links. This is the result. As saying before, I always recommend to have a to take a very good look at your anchor text, just to have this as accurate as possible. As we're looking at this website, you might say, okay, they're doing pretty well. They're having a lot of okay links, which is awesome. They're having some suspect and some unnatural links. Okay, I'm having this message regarding the fact that I'm still having anchor tags that are not classified, and I should. Okay, I'm going to close it for the moment. And this message that you probably have it or not, hopefully not, that this site has a suspect link profile and should be investigated carefully. What is this about? Basically, from our internal case studies and from our users' stories and businesses and so on, we've realized that profiles that have over 10 or 15, between 10 and 15% of suspect or unnatural links, they could issue a Google penalty. Then again, this is not a rule, this is just an observation. And this is why we've added this message here. If you see this message, it doesn't mean that you have been penalized or something like that. It's just an informative one, letting you know that you should be careful, check things out, see what's going on. Okay. Not only the classification has been done, but also this chart here. This chart with most common unnatural link issues, most common natural anchor text, and top unnatural link pages. Why should I take a look at them beside this? Well, because it will make things easier for me and I would better understand some things. For instance, I've done a link building campaign and I've done a lot of things. I've done all sorts of links because I wanted to have as many links as possible. So when I'm doing this classification, I can see what are my link issues. What did I do wrong in link building? Not necessarily wrong, but what did I do not according to Google guidelines, to say like that. So this website has a lot of low influence links, has some suspicious pattern links. Suspicious pattern links means the same anchor text used in the same context over and over again. Okay. Suspect anchor text, thin content, directory link, suspect domain, automatic self-learning. Basically, cognitiveSEO, it's a system that is permanently learning from the other users. And for instance, if a number of persons or a number of people or users classify a certain domain as being unnatural, then the system will learn and will flag that domain as being unnatural. And will let me know, hey, this domain has been flagged as unnatural by this user. You might check them out. Okay, footer links and so on. As we take a look here, we can see that some of these link issues from here are more or less similar to some of the links from here, the link schemes. Okay, as saying at the beginning, we try to apply the Google algorithms ranking factors as well. Of course, no one knows the ranking factors and the link schemes and the algorithm penalty reasons except Google. We just try to predict some of them. Another thing that is very important, you should take a look at. What is the most common natural anchor text? So I see withdrawal effect, recovering heroin addiction, and some other things. Also, I'm having this, top unnatural link pages. So this is another important aspect I should take into consideration, which are, okay, I'm having a lot of unnatural links. They're all linking to my domain, but which exact pages are the most unnatural or are most affected by unnatural links? And I can easily take a look here. Okay, let's say that I'm having all this in mind. Anywhere you click here, the link navigator will open. So if I want to see only the links with this anchor text, I click here. If I want to see the link issues with low influence, for instance, I click here. For the moment, we're going to click on the review links using the Unnatural link navigator, as from my point of view, this is the easiest way of visualizing all of your links. Here on the right, we're having the list of links. Here on the left, we're basically having the preview of the page. And this is really cool because I don't have to, I don't know, export a list of links and open in a browser or stuff like that. I just have it here open. Another thing, for instance, I clicked on an unnatural link here. Here on the top of the page, I'm also given the reasons why this link could be seen as unnatural by Google. It's a low influence link and in content with suspicious pattern link. Okay. As remember the page before with link schemes from Google. As saying, context is extremely important. So we flag links as being unnatural or suspect, but we always recommend the human interaction with the link. I mean, I always recommend users, they should check the Unnatural link navigator and they should manually have a quick look through all of their links, be it okay, being unnatural, before doing any action. Okay, before disavowing, before doing anything. Just quickly take a look through all of them because this is the most secure way to know your link profile, to know exactly where you're standing, to know how you're links look like, and so on and so on. Even if you're having the SEO part, doing, I don't know, let's say that you're hired company or something to do your SEO job, to do your link building thing, you can also monitor them from time to time. Simply do something like this, do a natural link detection, and see exactly if they're not doing something very shady. Because unfortunately, we have a lot of users who hired some bad SEO companies. They did a lot of not good link building for them. They've been penalized and they're having problem ever since. So in order to avoid that, I think that even if you're doing the SEO yourself, even if you're having someone else doing it for you, you should always keep an eye on your links. Okay, good. This being said, also here is very easy to identify the anchor text, as is highlighted, as saying that here I'm having the reasons why a certain link can be considered unnatural, right? For instance, this one again, it's a thin content, it's a low influence link, it's a suspect anchor text, and so on. And here is highlighted. For instance, this you'll say, okay, why is this, for instance, let's take this page. Why is this considered to be unnatural? Let's look, it says that has a suspect anchor text. Okay, let's look at the anchor text. What it's like to attend your first meeting, practical support and information. It's quite a long anchor text, but except that would be a problem. But except that, just take a look at this page. Maybe it has the best intention for the one who placed the link here, but for me, looking for outside, right, a human, I only see a long list of links. This is all I'm seeing. Maybe this is a very helpful page or something, but looking for outside, it's not very relevant. Has plain content, basically it's a list of links. Now imagine how an algorithm would look at this page, right? I mean, it basically most likely consider it unnatural. And this is why it's flagged by us as being unnatural as well. What happened if, for instance, we're having something like this? We're having like a suspect link, okay? So we're having this page here. I'm guessing this one is, yeah, the link is here. So we're having this page, and it's considered to be suspect. No unnatural, no okay, just considered to be suspect. What is the deal with it? Also struggle with morphine addiction. Okay, the link is placed here. You might say that, okay, it's this is an author, it's a book group info. There are some biographical information about an author from what I can see here. There is a lot of text. Why is this considered to be like this? Saying before, this one, suspicious pattern link, most likely this exact anchor text has been used several times in some other links. So basically, this is why the system picked this link up and say, okay, it could be something fishy with it. And we're not saying that 100% is, but it could be something fishy about it. What you can do in this situation, basically human review. If we look at this page and we say, okay, I think that is a totally legit page, we have this button here of reclassify thing and say it's unnatural or is an okay link. Okay? You're the one who's deciding this. A natural human interaction, as saying at the beginning. I think it's extremely, extremely important. For instance, this one. 3.91 out of 5 recovering heroin addicts relapse. This one, then again, is an anchor text that I've seen before. If you remember a couple of other links here, I don't know exactly. This one is a suspicious pattern link as well. Probably something they've used recurringly in this web page. I'm not saying that it's not a good web page. It does look okay, has a lot of info, But having this repeatedly overused could bring some question marks. Let's take another suspect one, for instance. Okay. And again, this looks like a legit one, right? It says, okay, has a lot, it looks like a story about some addictions. Then again, probably the anchor text caused the flagging as unnatural. If you consider that this link is an OK link, we click on OK. If not, we can leave it as suspect and so on. When I'm reclassifying this is just for my internal management, okay? This doesn't mean that it will be flagged anything for Google. No, this is just for the internal management, just to know, just for me to know the situation of my link profile. Another thing that you can use and you can do, it's also use tags. Okay, for instance, if this is a, I don't know, this is a link that from an educational page, which is awesome. There are very, very important links coming from here. So if I want to tag this page, for instance, I want to apply a tag, hey, great link, check it later, or I don't know, any tag that I might want, we can do that here directly into the link navigator. I know that it's our tool, but I'm a big fan of the link navigator because I can do a lot of stuff with it. Not only disavowing and looking for the natural, but also managing links, checking them out, applying tags, filter after those tags afterwards. It's really okay. Now let's say that I've quickly checked all of my links. I've classified or reclassified, if it was the case, into OK and natural links. And now let's say that I'm having all my natural links here. Okay, I'll click only the natural links tab. Okay, let's assume that I've done everything, I've checked them all. I'm a bit of a colorblind, but theoretically you should be able to see that links, the visited links have a different color than the non-visited links. Okay, I'm not able to see this, but this is what I've been told. So yeah, maybe this is a helpful information for me. Usually I just tag the links I've watched so that I can see it. What you can do to disavow, if you're 100% sure that all the natural links have been reviewed for you and you want to disavow them, simply bulk disavow them from the tool. Disavow, apply action. Okay? If you want to do this. Yet, if you don't want to do this, you can disavow only some specific links. You can do them just by from a shortcut, from pressing D, or from here, disavow and disavow. Then again, when pressing the disavow button doesn't mean that Google will know that you disavow that file. No, this is just for the internal management of the links. You can do the disavow at the domain, subdomain, and link level. And this is highly, highly important for you to know. And why that? Let's say that this page from the Daily Medical News, okay, this one, here, this is an unnatural link. But maybe is a natural link coming just from this page only. So I would like to disavow only this link at the link level. Okay? I want to do this disavow. I don't want to do the disavow at the domain level because maybe I'm having some other links coming from this domain, and those links are OK links. So I don't want to disavow them. I want to disavow only this. Yet usually, I would recommend doing the disavow at the domain level when you're 100% that all of the links coming from here, for instance, are unnatural. So when you're 100% sure of this kind of things, when you're having, I don't know, web directories, when you're having some footer links, if you're having a link in footer and you're having it on thousands of pages, disavow at the domain level, it's easier. You can disavow at a subdomain level when you're having things, for instance, I don't know, you're having a website from blogspot.something. You cannot disavow at the domain level because you cannot disavow blogspot.com. But you can disavow at the subdomain or the link level. depending on the situation. Once you've done everything with disavow, okay, let's say that you disavow everything that's possible. We can, before doing that, sorry, just want to say that I would recommend the disavow as a last resort. So if you have the possibility of removing those links before, okay, talking to the webmasters before maybe, or removing the links yourself if there are links that you've created them or SEO company created them for you. I would recommend trying removing those links. If removing those links is not possible, then the last resort is disavowing the links. I know that you've probably heard a lot of stories. No, if I don't disavow these links, it's like telling Google, hey, look at my website, it looks like I've done that, and Google is going to punish me anyways. From our experience, we have a lot of users that actually recover their ranks by using the disavow tool. So I do personally believe that it works, and it works actually fine. Yes, it has to be used with a maximum cautiousness. I mean, it's a dangerous tool. I mean, if you're disavowing OK links for you, or domains and so on, it could damage your ranks for Google. And it's a very dangerous tool, as saying, but can be very, very helpful as well. So disavowing links is like telling Google, hey, Google, I know I'm having these links associated with my website, but please don't take them into consideration. I don't want to be associated with them. Just don't take them into consideration. This is what happens. When a link is disavowed, it doesn't mean that that link does not exist anymore. No, that link is still live. It's just that Google does not take him into consideration anymore when ranking your website. After you're done with the disavow, we have this. Export the Google disavow file. Just to see how it looks. Okay. As you can see here, this is a Google disavow format agreed by Google. This file has been reviewed by me, and I confirm this link disavow request, also in accordance with terms and conditions of Google. And here you'll have the list of links, the domains, links, and so on. This is how it looks like, and this is the one you should upload to Google. Of course, you'll be asked to log into your own credentials, because if not, everybody could send disavows for the others. Once you're logged into your own account, you just have a button of import the disavow, and all you have to do is import the disavow, exporting from cognitiveSEO. If you have done this before, you can also import the Google disavow into cognitiveSEO. Okay, simply import the disavow that a file that you already have, and all those links would be marked as disavow within cognitiveSEO. So let's say that you've disavowed everything. Okay, you've checked everything correctly. You've sent everything to Google. You refresh this page. Okay, and after refreshing the page, things look the same. And you say, okay, if I've done the disavow, why do I still have this message? Why do I still have a high percentage of unnatural and suspect links? Because, as saying a few minutes ago, these links do still exist. If Google takes them into consideration or not, this is a thing that only Google can know, only Google can tell. But as long as they exist, we will keep on showing them to you here. What you can do afterwards, after disavowing the file, we have two possibilities. You can put those links to the ignore list, and this way your link profile will look better. Or let me just both disavow everything to show you how it should look. Okay, say that I disavow everything now. Okay, everything is added to the disavow list. I can easily filter my analysis from here. It's disavow links, not disavow domains. Okay? This way, the tool is going to show me only the domains and links and so on that are not disavowed, because I want to see how my link profile looks like without the links I've sent to the disavow. I repeat, even if you send the links to disavow, you actually don't know what happens. Google is the only one knowing if it took into consideration your disavow or not. You can only hope and pray for your ranks to get better. Then again, I repeat, the disavowing tool is a dangerous tool, but you shouldn't be scared. If used with caution, it can really give awesome results. There are some other places when you can easily spot whether you're having unnatural links or not. So for instance, if I'm looking, let's say here, at the web page type, right? If I'm having a lot of web directories or forums or something, for sure something is fishy. And I can easily click on this, let's say that all the forums seems okay. I don't know, I want to disavow all the web directories. I don't care if they're listed as okay or not. I just simply want to disavow everything from the web directories. Simply go here, bulk action, disavow. Or a group of links and so on. And also another place you can have a look at is this one, is the web page category. So all of my links are coming from health, business, tech, art. Okay, maybe these are somehow related. But I don't know if games, adults, pets are necessarily related to my business. And if they're not, I can always, okay, click on the chart, on the bar chart that I'm interested in. I'll get all the links and simply disavow them from there. This being some other places where you can easily spot unnatural links, not to mention from here. But this probably is the easiest way. As you can simply, the tool will simply help you classify the links, right, into brand and commercial. After that, run the unnatural link detection, verify all of your links, disavow the one that you consider they need to be disavowed, export the file, and send it directly to Google. It would have taken me, for sure, a couple of hours to do this disavow if it weren't for the tool. I mean, probably would have had the longest webinar in the history, because imagine just for me to manually review, I don't know how many links does it have, this, I don't know, 2,000 links, manually review 2,000 links, manually open 2,000 of links, check them out, copy the URL, put it onto the text file and so on. That would have taken ages. But this makes the process a lot more easy. So now, I don't know, I know we don't have much time, but please, is the question time. There are already a lot of questions here. I'm going to try to answer. Meanwhile, you can still keep on adding your question. If Google hasn't flagged us for malicious link, why should it disavow the unnatural links? So this is a question. I mean, this is your call. So if you're having a lot of unnatural links, but you don't have a penalty, it doesn't mean that you won't have a penalty in the future. So if you want to prevent that, I would recommend to disavow your unnatural links. Of course, you're not obliged to do that. You can leave things like that. If you're ranking very well and you're not afraid of a penalty, sure, it's your call. But if you want to prevent a penalty and keep track of your website, I would recommend getting rid of the unnatural links if possible. Okay, hope I answered your question, Chris. Are there any organization consultants with experience who can help us determine whether disavowing the natural links is a good idea? There are a lot of articles on this out there. I mean, if you go to cognitiveSEO blog, you'll probably get a lot of articles on this thing here as well. Let's see, for instance, if I'm looking for disavow, you'll probably get a lot of myths and so on about disavowing, and I recommend you checking them out. The thing is that with the experts, they probably each of them have different experiences with different clients. I know people, when SEO experts, who said, okay, Disavow tool really worked. It helped me out with my clients and so on. All these websites are now recovered. And I'm having users who say, okay, that didn't work for me. I sent the Disavow, I sent tons of Disavow, and for 2 years now I'm still penalized. So there are mixed feelings about this, but I personally know websites that have recovered due to the Disavow tool. So when you're penalized and when you're not in the top 10 positions in Google, I think you will try anything. Okay. Before that, I have a site about me being a freelance web developer. Should web developer be classified as commercial? Same question regarding an informational page. I have a content management system. Let's see. I'm guessing, Jules, that your question is regarding to an issue that is faced by many of our users. What happens when your brand name is also a commercial one? So let's say that my brand name is Best Shoes, but Best Shoes could also be a brand anchor text, but can also be a commercial one. What happens then? I think this is your question. It all depends on the context and on the intent, as I said at the beginning. If I'm having this link is in a context something like I don't know, Best Shoes is a company from UK who sells shoes online. This for sure is an anchor text that can be classified as a brand. If you're having something like, we're selling the best shoes in the world, if you want to see the best shoes in the world, click here you will find the best shoes in the world. For sure, that will be commercial. Hopefully I answered your questions. Okay, we don't have so much time. I promised you not to keep you long. So I'm gonna take like three more questions. And after that, we're done, but feel free to send any other questions on our emails at cognitiveSEO. Okay. Let's see what to choose. There are a lot of questions here. I'm trying to choose questions that are repeating or are an issue for more users. Okay. Should you use other sources like Majestic, Ahrefs, and so on? I want to tell you that at cognitiveSEO, we're very proud to say that we have a very big, comprehensive database. We have our own crawlers, but we do insert data from Majestic, for instance, and some other sources. Of course, if you're not sure that all the links are here, because I mean, not even Google Search Console gives you all of your links and stuff like that, not even a tool. All of the tools have their own database. So yeah, we try to say that we have the most comprehensive one. But if you're having some links coming from other sites, simply go here, import. If those links already exist, they will be deduplicated. If not, they will be just added to the system. So if you want to sleep well at night, just knowing that you're having all of your links in one place, go to the import. Thanks. Google is not giving any information about updates, is getting volatile, and nothing is stable. That's very true. Website ranking is going down and up, and sometimes the Disavow tool does not help. That's also true. And Google is giving too much authorities to newspaper sites coming in search for keywords not related to the newspapers. I'm guessing that, Siad, what you're trying to say is that Google is indeed lately is pushing up sites with a lot of authority. Regarding the volatility of Google, you've probably figured it out here. is a new button appeared on the Cognitive SEO page, is the Cognitive SEO Signals, is the newest family member from Cognitive SEO toolkit. And here, if you look here, right, what we are going to see here are the Google algorithm changes. It's true that Google does not give a lot of info lately. Hey, we've done this update. Hey, we've done that. But this is a tool that can help you. What is this tool doing? Basically, it's telling you we're monitoring over 100,000 keywords. Yeah, that's right. 100,000 keywords. And we try to see how these keywords ranking are fluctuating on a daily basis. We basically do hourly updates, but let's say on a daily basis. And if I want to see how things are going on US desktop for top 10 positions, changes that with at least 10 positions. As you can see here, this is a massive updates from Google. So here is green, that means where so many fluctuations, but where are red areas here? Something big is happening. And so basically I choose to see the top 10 Google fluctuations for the top 10 positions, or this is for Google's first page. And these are changes in positions with at least 10 positions. So this means that there are a lot of changes for the websites that are on the page number 1 on Google, where we all want to be. So yeah, this is really big. As you can see, from this month, it has been something in summer as well, but this month is probably the most biggest fluctuation that has been this year, if we look at it. It's called Cognitive SEO Signals. You have it here, okay, on your bar within the Cognitive SEO toolset, and also you can click on here to get notified each time Google is going volatile. Of course, when your ranks are going down, there are a lot of reasons that could have happened, but I always recommend you to take a look at the tool and see, okay, are just my rankings going down, or is something going on with Google and it's fluctuating a lot? Of course, this is not the universal answer to anything, but might be a starting point and could be really helpful. Okay, I'm going to take just one more question. Okay, let's see. One gigantic to anchor text as well. I'm going to answer to Jules because he answered. He asked me at the beginning of the webinar, and I didn't have the chance to answer it. If a link has web developer and it's linking to a page having to do with being a web developer, how do we classify that? So if Jules, if you're still around, if you can give me the name of the domain, that would be awesome. But from what I understand from the from your question, you're basically saying that you're having, let's say, cognitive SEO domain, and I'm having some anchor text related to the name of someone from the team. I'm having Cornelia, my own name, as an anchor text. I would classify that as brand, okay, if that's answer your questions. If it's related to someone that is also, I don't know, let's say that it's Bill Gates from Microsoft, right? So Microsoft is indeed the name of the brand, but Bill Gates can also be associated with the brand. So that I would classify that as a brand as well. Once again, thank you very much for your attention. I know I'm really happy that we've gathered here today, talk about this. I know you still have a lot of questions. I'm gonna try to take those questions and answer you on private on your mails. If not, please send me over all of your questions through support. Hopefully this was helpful for all of you guys. For me, for sure, it was helpful because through your questions, I get a better understanding of the issues, of the problems the users are struggling with. If you're having any other webinar suggestions, you have my email. Because I keep on stalking with these messages. So you have my email, please write me back and say, hey, Cornelia, I would like you to talk about that or that. That would be helpful for me and for you as well. Once again, thank you very much. Thank you for your attention and have a great day, evening, or afternoon. Bye.